How you guys doing? Eric here. Today's Saturday, August 30th, 2014. Oh, there you go. Yeah, a lot of shit going on this week. And ISIS running wild. Warmongering, fear-mongering. You know, it's totally leading to a war. There's no doubt about it. You know, it's just a matter of when, you know, they start the war. They'll just keep saying, threat to the United States, threat to the United, yeah. It is a threat to the United States, to the petrodollar. They fall into total turmoil, you know. This rogue militant army, ISIS, takes over and starts killing everybody. It's insane. You know, and then they show the propaganda videos, you know, on the television. All these Iraqis are walking with their hands up on their heads. And supposedly they've all were murdered by ISIS, like thousands and thousands of Iraqi soldiers and Christians and basically anybody that was opposed to them or not a Muslim. They're supposedly just mass murdering them. So, and then now the threat is, oh, they keep threatening America. They're coming after us. They're coming after us. They're selling oil on the black market. You know, that's a big no-no. Can't sell oil without using the dollar. But no, seriously, the propaganda on it is just ridiculous. You know, about ISIS, the most powerful terrorist organization that ever existed. They're way wealthier than Al-Qaeda, way more powerful than Al-Qaeda ever thought of being. And they just keep growing every day. Every day they grow more powerful. Oh, what you got it there, Nico? They're like, what's that one group on G.I. Joe? Cobra? Cobra Commander. Cobra Commander's, what's his name? Al-Baghdadi, is that his name? Muhammad al-Baghdadi? Al-Baghdadi. He's the daddy of Baghdad. And all these cutting off of heads, which a lot of people that intelligent people that I listen to believe were fake, in my opinion. The first thing that stinks about it is it wasn't even really Foley's head who they got cut off. I don't know for sure. I didn't watch the video, but I seen some of it. I didn't see the part where they cut the head off. You know, you need to watch that shit. But a lot of people say it was fake, man. I believe it. That's everything they do is fake. Yeah, they show like Hollywood effects and stuff of how they can make it look like they cut someone's head off. Some people even say that knife he had was like a retractable Hollywood knife. Yeah. It was funny. Deke Jackson has a funny video on it. He's there with a clown head. And they reenact the Foley beheading. Oh yeah, also there was 2 Americans now that are being killed fighting with ISIS. So that's another part of the story that's starting to emerge. Is it's all pointing back to domestic terrorism. Look at these berries. Labor Day weekend up here. It's actually pretty nice finally. Had quite a bit of rain and weather, and feels like we're going to have an early fall. Something that irks me, man, every other year. These goddamn signs everywhere. Election season. Oh yeah, another thing that happened last week. Google announced that it's building all these drones to deliver packages. Man, that kind of pisses me off. You're taking away more jobs from people. Can't stand it. Some person has a decent job delivering packages. You know, those days are numbered. But my answer is, when they start delivering with drones, I think everybody should quit shopping online. That'd be a good way to combat back at them. Other people suggest we just get shotguns and shoot them down. You know, it's like, how many industries are being replaced by machines? You know, they're gone for like secretarial jobs where you used to call some for service and you talk to a person. You know, now it's, you either talk to a machine or you talk to someone in India. But same thing now. They're gonna do away with. You know, and it's so annoying talking to them. It never works for me. Every time I call up, the machine comes on. How may I help you? It's blah blah blah. Press 1. Blah 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 blah. Press 2. Or just say the words. I can understand full sentences. And you try to tell something to the fucking thing. And every time, man, you have to. I always end up having to talk to a real person. And with a lot of companies, that person is as an Indian from India, not an American Indian from India. You can hardly understand them. It's annoying as hell. That's just the way the world is now, man. Because we had to replace all these humans with machines. Yep, it's kind of a sad thing that the human being has become obsolete to the workforce, man. It took hundreds of years, thousands of years to build this society now, just so that they could be replaced by their own technology. Pretty sad story. But yeah, this whole ISIS thing, and you know, you don't think they allowed that thing to happen? You know, the powers that be in this world, you might say. I hate to say the United States, but it's because the United States is just a tool of it. It's just like the military muscle of it. They're allowing it to happen. They're encouraging it to happen. They're creating it and funding it and giving it weapons. And they gave them all their weapons a long time ago when they left. And they knew. And then it's not that they knew this was going to happen. They planned it. You know. It cracks me up how many people actually believe it's real. They believe that shit's that it's an actual, that these fuckers are genuine militant army. I don't. The news people, how they, you know, they don't believe it themselves. You know, they got to pretend. They got to pretend it's real. It's all fucking bullshit. So that the new world order, basically, you might call it, go in there and wipe out people, man. That's all it's about. Bottom line, it's about getting a big ass war going, killing millions and millions of people, and all the world powers are working together to kill off the population. That's what's really going on. All this fucking country versus country is just bullshit, man. The fact is, it's nations versus the people. They're all working together. The world governments, they're playing a role, man. They're actors. And these people rule in the age of materialism. And they got to keep everybody pinned down into that lower vibration through all this fucking war and negativity and fucking pain and suffering that they're creating. Otherwise, once the people figure out that the age of materialism is over with, they'll lose all their power. And I think they'd rather just destroy the whole world than lose their power. I think that's what's going on. It's just going to keep getting worse. But yeah, I guess it's inevitable. Sooner or later, because basically these people are Luciferians. And an interesting thing I learned about Luciferianism is that whenever that experiment is tried in the universe, it ends up in its own self-destruction. And that's what's going on. The Luciferian experiment on Earth has now become to the point where they've all become insane psychopaths, and they're all going to end up killing themselves. It's an interesting story about the Luciferian experiment. It started in Atlantis. It goes back to Atlantis. The Luciferian experiment. Look it up. Pretty interesting. You know, a good example of the Luciferian experiment is like when the United States, or when the Europeans came to the New World and killed off all the natives. That's basically what it means. They don't care. They kill because they can, and because no one can stop them. So they just kill everything. And then they end up killing everything, including themselves. And that's what's going on in the world right now. Fucking scary shit, man. Look at this sign. An upside down pentagram. That's interesting. Speaking of Luciferianism, I won't be voting